Arsenal 1, Paris Saint-Germain 2, and obviously on aggregate 3 to Paris Saint-Germain and 1 to Arsenal. And Arsenal are out of the Champions League, and effectively Arsenal's season finished, at least from a standpoint of being able to win something, which I guess is the aim of every season, right? I feel like every big team goes into the season with aims and targets and goals, and one of them is to leave the season with a trophy. Not everybody can win them, because football's highly competitive, but a club of Arsenal size, with the players that they have and the amount of money that they spend, that's definitely one of their aims, and that ended last night, unfortunately. Now, I haven't really got too many thoughts on the game because I think overall, we played pretty well. I think for large majorities of the game, we actually dominated them. And I think the only area that they excelled to us, which is probably the most important area in knockout football, is clinical edge. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, that game, it just shows the fine margins. Like, really early on, you have the Declan Rice chance, the header, which, is just centimetres wide. If that goes in, different tie. You have the Martin Ødegaard chance, which I'll be honest, I think for the first 20 minutes, like, Ødegaard showed me kind of what I want to see from Ødegaard. You know what I mean? Forward thinking, passing forward, like, moving the ball quickly, trying to create, willingness to shoot. I saw that a lot. There was a point where the ball, the ball was coming down, and like he set himself up to hit it first time with his right foot. Like, he was just gonna volley it. Like, that's what I mean. Willingness to shoot. Those are the things I want to see. But great save from Donnarumma. And then obviously, Ruiz. Do you know what? It's quite ironic because we ended up conceding. I think it was from a corner. Or was it a throw on? Something. Corner, something. Partey heads it away, and then it comes to Ruiz, and Martinelli is running, zooming, and tries to get in the way, just goes past him, and then what a finish from Ruiz. I can't take anything away from the finish, but that's the fine margins, right? Like, Ødegaard had a very similar chance. Donnarumma saves it. Ruiz has that same chance. Well, not same. It was similar chance. Goes in the back of the net. And I mean, outside of that, I don't know how everyone else felt, but literally as soon as Ruiz scored, in my mind, I already thought, yeah. Because my thing was, if we concede first, we probably lose. Because, I mean, it was already hard enough for us to get a goal. Obviously, Saka scores, but it's too little too late. Do you know what I mean? It feels like Arsenal of old, where we'd be going on for time and not scoring, and then we'd kind of kick ourselves into gear and score like when the other team scored, or when we're in a losing position, or do you know what I mean? And it was just too little too late. Saka obviously missed a big chance. He missed a big chance. I can't lie. Maybe if he scores that chance, then maybe it puts a lot of pressure onto PSG, and then maybe we end up going to win that game. I don't know. Like, I can't. Me personally, this is just me personally. I can't sit here and put the blame on Saka like that, because Saka was one of the few players that tried. You know what I mean? That looked like, yeah, we're gonna do something. You could tell that he wanted it, and he tried, and it was hard. Like, there was loads of times where he'd have the ball and there's no one around him, and it's like, come on, guys, you know how Saka likes to play. Like, why is he receiving the ball in these very threatening positions, but there's no one around him? You know what? Fair play. Declan Rice had an amazing game, in my opinion. Like, I think you could see how much he wanted it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be real, that like I think it was like a 90-yard run, tracking back. I think he was already on the yellow at that point as well to stop. I think it was Barcola. That challenge he makes, what like, yeah, but yeah, I think Timber had a really good game as well. Big up Raya for saving the penalty. You know, I mean, like it gave me like that bit of. I was like, oh, wow, with that. I think the fact the penalty was given, I think, was a sham, but he saved it, and I was like, oh, maybe this will give a bit of boost to the lads. But end of the day, it didn't change anything. And yeah, I mean, outside of that, I don't know. I don't think Saliba had a great game personally. I don't think he had his greatest of games. Maybe his head's somewhere else. Cause like maybe he's dreaming of Madrid. I don't know. Maybe the links and all of that, contract talks, all of that. Maybe got his mind somewhere else. But I'll say like by Saliba's standard, at least what we've been used to over the last few years, I think he's not quite played to the level, and it's looked worse since Gabriel's not been there. So, but we just have to hold that. You know, sometimes players have bad periods, bad spells. It is what it is. Arteta, like you know, the fact that you didn't really make any offensive changes. I think the subs you made, Ben White came on defensive sub, Calafiori came on defensive sub, and then you took off Martinelli. Oh, do you know what? I think Martinelli had a very good first half. Second half, and that's probably why he ended up getting hooked. For Trossard, Trossard came on, fair play. You know, he played a big part in getting the goal. He looked positive when he came on, but again, like for like, I don't feel like Trossard really offered anything of any real like, I don't know, potency. You know what I mean? Any real vim. You know what I mean? They didn't really offer anything super different. Like they didn't really have. If anything, it might have got a bit easier on their defenders. But yeah, I think PSG played very well as well. Like I think Hakimi had an amazing game. Amazing game. I think Kvaratskhelia had an amazing game as well. Like I think you can really see the difference in how good like PSG are as a side now that they have like wingers that put in the work rate, put in the hard yards, and for how much of a baller Kvaratskhelia is, for him to still be doing all of those like defensive duties as well, I think it kind of puts, I think it kind of kills like the Martinelli hype in it, because a lot of the Martinelli hype is, yeah, maybe he's not the greatest going forward or the greatest of players technically going forward, but he tracks back and he defends, and and he puts in the hard yards, and that kind of boosts him in it. But then you got a player like Kvaratskhelia who does all that, and from the other end is crazy. Like even that chance that he had, like hit the post. I was like, "Ooh." I can't lie, that's a market opportunity that's looking like a real L that Arsenal didn't at least throw their hat in for, just to see, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of Prem teams can say that. Now, again, another game that we need a goal, and actually, well, truth be told, he's had minutes in the past, but little minutes. But in this game, he got no minutes. And I'm talking about Ethan Maneri. And he could have been the spark, you know what I mean? That comes on maybe 20, 25 minutes to go, offer something different. But after the game, I heard a rumor in it, and I don't know if the rumor is true. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I am gonna give a little comment on the rumor. Is that I heard that Ethan Wanyeri is currently being punished for not turning up to training against Real Madrid. And that's why his minutes have been limited. And that probably plays a part into why he didn't play. Now, to sacrifice Arsenal's chance to win a trophy because of some disciplinary issue to prove a point on, I guess, standards and behavior at the club, to me, surely has to be a sackable offense in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like the damage that you could the damage you could be doing to Wanyeri from a mental perspective at that young age as well, it could be irreparable. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I don't actually know if it's 100% true. Just what I've heard, but if that is the case, that is absolutely insane. So, so look, like I just, I've just had enough. I'll be real. Like I've hit my threshold. I've just had enough in it, and at 45 minutes halftime, I was like, cool. My thing was, all right, cool. Arteta, this is now the test for you. Like, what can you do to affect this game? And he didn't do enough to affect the game. And now I'm going trophyless again for another season, 5 years in a row. Arsenal Football Club is not a club that should be going 5 years without winning any trophy. And then B, for how good we've been over the last few seasons, I don't think there's any excuse for us not having won a trophy. So I think it was not even really that I think. It is just failure. Like we failed. Like we failed. For whatever reason, whatever reason you want to give out, whatever excuse you want to make, it's fine. Cool. We just failed. So I would like to see change. You know what I mean? I would like to see change. I would like to see fresh ideas, new ideas, because look, yeah, you can get new players, you can change up the players, but that's a lot to change. Yeah, you can want the ownership gone, but let's be real, the ownership are not going. So the easiest change that would have, the most minimal impact on the club is the manager. And I feel like he deserves to be sacked now. Whether he is or not is a different story. And if he ends up not getting sacked, then like I'm not gonna spend like my entire days going, oh, get this guy at my club, blah 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 blah. I'm still gonna support the club because I'm an Arsenal fan, innit? But I do think that the club has a big decision to make regarding Mikel Arteta, innit? And I guess that decision is kind of, do we actually believe that he can do something and turn it around? And if we give him, the quality and attack that he needs, can he change that? Or do we not have any faith in him anymore? Do you know what I mean? Do we not think he can do it? Like, yeah, he's done really good things, but is he someone that can take Arsenal over the line? That's an internal discussion that I think they're gonna have to have. But people, yeah, I think that's it for me. Sorry for the late one. I had to stream and yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I really have to say at the moment. So